Alright, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be matching up the lightweight division in the UFC. We're not going to be starting off with the champ, Justin Gaethje, as you can see here. I'll get to him eventually. But for now, I want to start with Ilya Tsabtsuro, the man who got absolutely battered at the White House. Yeah, so I want to say my prediction for the White House, by the way. I predicted Ilya by round 2 KO. I will say, when it first got announced, I was 100% Ilya like everybody else. But leading up to the fight, I was more 60-40 Ilya. You know, don't get me wrong, I was still going to go Ilya, but I was like, eh. I predicted if Justin won. Sorry, I just got done recording my Dustin Poirier video. Man, that got me sad again. That if Justin won, it would be like a head kick KO. But it did not happen. So that was my prediction for that fight. But regardless, Ilya Taporia is gonna need some time off. No doubt about it, right? The man took a year off after a round one slime out, barely any damage taken against Charles Oliveira. So he is going to need a while off over the beating he got from Justin Gaethje. And when he comes back, he needs to fight Paddy. Oh, wait. This isn't Paddy Pimblett. There he is. Paddy Pimblett. There we go. That was the man he slimed out. He needs to fight Paddy Pimblett if he beats Benoit Saint-Denis. That is a big if. Because BSD is pretty good? What? No, yeah, BSD is pretty good, so it'll be a tough one. But if Paddy wins, you have to do Ilya Paddy. Like, there's no way you don't do that fight. It'll probably be a while. It'll probably be till like maybe January. How long is that? That's 7 months away. Yeah, probably January, February-ish, something like that. Ilya should be ready to turn. I doubt he will because he barely fights. But I know Paddy will be able to because he doesn't fight super consistently, but he does fight way more consistently than Ilya. So January, February, hopefully, would be good. Sorry, I had to burp. Sorry, I had to burp again. And I think that's a good matchup. I think after the last fight we saw, yeah, you can see Paddy pulling it off. Real quick, I want to talk about something I saw. I saw Paddy saying, lad, I did better against Gaethje. You quit on the fucking stool, you fucking whim, you fucking chorizo, or whatever he was calling. I think it means sausage in Spanish or something like that. And I want to know what y'all think, cause I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, Paddy made it to a decision, and in my opinion, when I watched the fight, I haven't rewatched it since I first watched it. I scored it 3-2 Gaethje, so he won 2 rounds. But Ilya did drop Gaethje, which Paddy didn't do. So, I don't know, but again, he didn't get finished, because I'm a Scouser lad. We don't get knocked out. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. I would probably say Ilya, but I'd have to. I don't know. I'd have to. Paddy did get fouled. Like, he got eye poked, like, what, 2 or 3 times in their fight? I don't remember. So, I don't know, man. Honestly, Paddy might have did better. But that matchup is really interesting if Paddy can beat BSD. Yeah, I blanked there for a second. I'd probably still pick Ilya, but it's more interesting now than it would have been had Paddy beaten Gaethje. um, so yeah, do that. But if he loses, I say don't give Benoit Saint-Denis Ilya. I say I don't know if they're gonna give this man a title shot. I don't know. Now look, should Arman Tsarukyan get the title shot? 100%. No doubt. He has a win over Oliveira. He has a win over... Let me see how many guys he has wins over in the rankings. He has a win over Oliveira, ranked one below him. He has a win over Gamrot, who is number 8. Hooker, number 9. Beneil Dariush, number 14. Now, obviously, those wins haven't aged crazily, but aside from Dan Hooker, because Dan Hooker is the most recent winner, Dan has not fought since then. Gamrot's pretty, or he didn't beat he beat Gamrot, but you know what I mean. So yeah, it should be Armin, but will it be Armin is the question. And if they don't give Armin the shot, I say do Armin versus Ilya, or I say do Armin versus, sorry, I have this organized really weird, Oliveira 2 and a title eliminator. I don't know why, but I can really see Justin pushing for an Oliveira rematch to get his win back, and then he wants to retire. And then if Holloway beats McGregor, or even if McGregor, he'll probably, I can also see him trying to get the winner of McGregor Holloway. You know, I'm not the biggest Sarukian fan at all, but I hope he doesn't get Tony Ferguson. But we'll see. Hopefully, we will do right by the rankings, which, gosh, stupid AI stuff they did with the rankings. Dana's an idiot, a retard, so to say. But, even though I know it wasn't him because he doesn't make decisions anymore up at the UFC. Yeah, I say do Oliveira Sarukian 2 or Oliveira. This is what I say. If BSD beats Patty, then do BSD Oliveira and then Patty Sarukian or Ilya Sarukian if Armin doesn't get the title shot. But Armin should get the shot. But if Patty wins, do Ilya Patty and then do Armin Oliveira 2. Again, this is all if he doesn't get that shot. Which he should. And for do Bronx here, if Armin gets the shot, which he should, and he doesn't, then I say it comes down to right here. Now, does McGregor want to move down to lightweight is the question. And I feel like he's going to want to stay at 170. Which, if he does, give him JDM if he beats Max. You guys know I love JDM. That is their best chance to get McGregor a title shot, is to have him beat Max, ranked number 4, and then JDM, ranked number 4. But if he stays at lightweight, you definitely do Oliveira McGregor. It was a fight that was super hyped up to potentially happen in 2021 when McGregor fought Poirier the third time. If he would have beat him, he would have got a title shot. So, yeah, if he's willing to stay down, move back down to 155, which is a big if. If he's not, then have him fight JDM, trying to get him a title shot. Yeah. So, right now I say Armin gets the title shot. Do Oliveira versus, if McGregor beats Holloway and he stays at light or goes back down to lightweight, do McGregor Oliveira. If McGregor stays up at 170, then do Oliveira versus Benoit Saint Denis if he wins. The reason I kind of don't like doing this video is because there's a lot of ifs. If, you know, if Patty wins, if BSD wins, if McGregor stays at 155. But I wanted to do this video, so I'm sorry if it is a little annoying. I should have had like a bracket. I should have made like a bracket to where if this guy wins it, but like I don't know. I'll just give what I think should happen. I think if Max beats McGregor here, then you do McGregor Hoofy. I think you do McGregor Hoofy for sure. And if Hoofy can win that, he's probably one away from a title shot. They talked about a fudging title shot after he beat Chandler. Shut the hell up. Shut up. Chandler sucks, dude. Chandler is no longer ranked, by the way, which is sick. He definitely shouldn't be. So, man, he looked terrible. I mean, Hoofy looked really good, but golly. Also, speaking of the White House, don't ask me why. I picked Hoofy. Again, the White House card was super easy to pick for. So, like, I picked mostly favorites, except for, like, one. Don't ask why. I predicted Hoofy round 2 TKO. I came so close to picking Chandler. I don't know why, but for some reason I just saw Chandler getting like a huge fluke overhand right, just murdering Hoofy, and then going on the White House lawn giving a dumbass speech and saying, Conor McGregor, Max Holloway, I want one of you boys. Some stupid thing like that. I don't know why I kind of saw that, but thankfully I came to my senses. I went, there's no way Chandler wins here. Sorry, I had to just put water. Yeah. So I say do that if Holloway wins. Again, a lot of ifs. Yeah. Another thing I say, let me just search up the rankings real quick. Okay. So let me turn off these stupid meta rankings. Go to the media rankings. As much as we hate the media, they are better than AI. Where is lightweight? Here it is. So, oh, goodness. Sorry, I'm burping a lot. I say do Gamrot versus Moicano. I think that's a great matchup. Gamrot shouldn't fight up yet because I hate this thing we're doing with Gamrot where he wins one and then he gets a guy ranked above him. So then he's just a win one, lose one guy. Let's get Gamrot at least 2 wins in a row before he fights up again. So let's do Gamrot Moicano. And I know you're probably saying, you're doing the same thing with Moicano. I know, but it's a matchup that makes sense. They're both coming off a win. They need one more, and the winner of it, they could fight a loser of a BSD patty. They could fight, somebody like that. Also, I didn't even want to, Khalil Ankalaev, that matchup pissed me off so much. That's a retarded matchup. I hate whoever did that. Khalil, you are so privileged. What else do we have? Fiziev Torres is already booked. Tom Nolan got a sick upset victory over Fresiziam. Do Salkild versus Hooker next, I say. Salkild Hooker. Or maybe Tom Nolan versus Hooker. Give Hooker one of these guys. Maybe let Salkild sit out for a bit because he was really, really, really active. So maybe let him, get some time to recover. Even though he didn't take a crazy amount of damage, he did get dropped against Dariush. So do, one of those two guys. And yeah, I gave everybody a potential matchup here, didn't I? And then, like I said, for Gaethje, it should be Armin here. But if it's not Armin, obviously, honestly, he should probably retire on top, but he probably won't. I get a feeling he's going to want to get a win over Oliveira back or a winner of a Holloway McGregor. I feel like that's what he's going to want to do. A lot of these matchups hinge on this fight and this fight. So 329 is a huge, huge night for lightweights. Well, potentially with this guy, maybe he moves up to 170. Also, I am thinking about picking McGregor for the eventual prediction video. I don't know why. Gosh, y'all know how much I love Max, and it's scaring me. It's scaring me that he might be on a downfall. I really hope not. I can just see. I do this thing where before certain fights, I'll envision how the UFC posts those videos of post-fight speech from this guy, that guy after they win, and I'm like, can I see Holloway getting his hand raised? Let me try to envision that. And I don't see, but I see McGregor getting his, and has it screwed me over before? Yeah, of course, many, many a times. But I can just see McGregor getting his hand raised and being like, I want to call out that fucking Dagestani fucking rat. He is done. Get in here, boy. That was terrible, McGregor. I usually have a better McGregor, but dude, McGregor coming back just gets me hyped, dude. How can you blame me? I usually have a better McGregor, but I can't do it right now. I can see him calling out Makhachev. I can see him being like, fucking Gaethje's a bum. That guy couldn't even fucking pass guard, We say some shit like he did with Chad Mendez. Be like, you can't even pass guard. You can't. Gosh, my McGregor is terrible. You can flame me for it right now. I don't care, man. I'm excited for the Mac return. Yeah. Those are my potential matchups. I say it really matters on these two. If McGregor wins and stays at lightweight, do him Oliveira. If Holloway wins, do him Hoofy. If BSD beats Patty, do BSD Oliveira. If Patty wins, do Patty versus Ilya. If is there any other ifs? No. Oh yeah, if they don't want to give Armin the title shot, which they should, just give Armin the title shot. Then do him Oliveira, and then figure out the other guys later. But he should get it. Also, if they give Oliveira the title shot, by the way, then do Armin Ilya instead. What else did I say? Gamrot Moicano. Hoofy versus... I already said Hoofy versus Holloway. If Holloway wins, didn't I? Gamrot versus Moicano. Fazeev Torres is already booked. Do Dan Hooker versus either Tom Nolan or Quillen Salkilled. Doesn't matter. Just one of them. And, yeah. That seems about right. And then Beneil Dariush, give him someone like a... Dude, give him Mason Jones. Let's do Dariush Mason Jones. You either give a super entertaining fighter in Mason Jones a title shot. Let me go to the rankings. Sorry, I'm looking at the rankings right now on my phone. You either get a super entertaining guy in Mason Jones in the freaking rankings, which... as much as I like Mason Jones, I just don't know if he can make it to the rankings. Or you get Dariush to get a little comeback win, and then you say, Dariush is back, and then you give him a power puncher and he slimes him out. So yeah, I think do Dariush Jones. Do that in December. Dariush got knocked out, last month? So that would be 7 months. Yeah, do that in December, January, February, one of those three. Something like that. Unfortunately, with McGregor, he said on Ariel on the MMA Hour that his second fight has already been matched for April of 27, which is so stupid. I know what the UFC's doing. I think McGregor's gonna do what they think he's doing. I think McGregor just wants to get out of his UFC contract. If he wins both fights, I think he'll stay because he'll definitely get a title shot. But if he loses one of them, I think he just wants to get out of his contract so he can do boxing, bare knuckle if he wants, since he owns, stake in that company. Something like that. I think he kind of just wants to get out of the contract if he loses, but if he wins, he'll try to stay, I feel like. But maybe not. Maybe he'll leverage 2 wins over, former champ, and then if he beats, I guess, a JDM as well, another former champ, or if he beats Oliveira, another former champ, something like that. I don't know. We'll see. It depends. It really depends on the Mac. So, yeah, but lightweight is in a good spot. One thing with Gaethje winning that I thought about is, man, this division's top 5 would just be Gaethje, Poirier, Oliveira, Khabib, McGregor, guys like this for the top 5 for the rest of time if they couldn't age. It would just be them after the Gaethje win. The unks of lightweight are truly different. And the reason I say Poirier, even though Max beat Poirier, that's an old Poirier. And Max is one of the unks of featherweight, who's a legend, of course. So, yeah, that's how I'd match up lightweight. Do with it what you will. Will they do any of those matchups? Probably not, but we'll see. And then I guess I technically didn't match up lightweight with if McGregor beats Holloway and moves up, do him versus JDM. Because not only is that a way to potentially get McGregor a title shot, because you can say he beat a welterweight and featherweight champion, but that's also a sick, sick fight. So yeah, y'all know I love JDM. Made me depressed. Also, Bobby Knuckles, he's going up to fight Krylov. That was a matchup I actually said I would potentially do. Obviously, I said Khalil, because I thought they would be like, let's get Whitaker a name. But I did say, maybe I didn't. I think I said it on my own, but I might not have said it in the video. I'd do Whitaker Krylov realistically, but I didn't think they'd do it. Anyways, hope y'all enjoyed this one. We are so back. And yeah, next video will be about Cyril Gane. And then after the Gane video, it'll be a recap of the events I missed, what I thought about them, and what was I gonna say? And oh, and what my predictions were for like the White House. I didn't really do predictions for the other events, but what my predictions for the White House and how I did there. Obviously, I told you how I did for Ilya, Gaethje, and Hoofy, Chandler. But anyways, yeah, I'll see y'all guys later. Bye.